Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. I'm James Welch and your host for today's show. Today we are connecting musicians and audiences in real-time performances and music news from around the globe. Today's program is about another musician's journey. We put the spotlight on 7-year-old pianist Lutao Guo, who just recently performed part of Alexander Pescanoff's Italian Concerto with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra on our Laureate Gala, which took place in Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall just this past June, 3 months ago. Today, we will be showing highlights of her audition, work session with both the maestro Giacomo Franci of the New York Chamber Players and Maestro Pescanoff himself. Additionally, we will show her interview with Steve Robinson, who is a wonderful world-renowned radio host producer, and then also some highlights of her rehearsal with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. Lutao, who also goes by Astrid, was born in Boston in 2016. Since her childhood, she shows strong interests in music and dance. She started to play the piano at the age of 4.5 years old and has been studying piano under Miss Jia Shi since she was the age of 5.5 years old. Besides music, Astrid loves rock climbing and has been training for bouldering and top roping since the age of 5. Wow, it's ambitious. I'm still afraid of rock climbing. All right, but we need to learn more about Lutao, and we have her spotlight right here. So we're going to let her take the center stage right now.
And we're delighted to welcome to the studio Lutao Guo from Boston, who is a wonderful pianist. Lutao likes to go with the name Astrid, so we're going to call you Astrid, Lutao. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Now, you're from Boston, a little town a little west of Boston called Lexington. And Lutao, you are, how old are you, Lutao?
I turned 7 last week.
You turned 7? Last week? Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Astrid. Yes, and how long have you been playing the piano?
2 years, I think, because I started when I was like 4 years old, I think.
Uh-huh. And who is your teacher?
I don't remember her name.
Well, you know, they come and go, those teachers, so it's hard to remember sometimes. And what piece will you be playing at the gala?
Italian Concerto, number 2.
I see. Do you happen to know who the composer is?
Alexander Pescanoff.
Oh, Alexander. Oh, yes. We just interviewed him. So you'll be playing his concerto. So you'll be playing with an orchestra. Wow. Have you ever played with an orchestra before?
No.
Oh, pretty exciting. Have you had the rehearsal yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I imagine you probably didn't, otherwise you would have remembered. So that's really interesting. You're going to be playing a concerto. You just turned 7 years old. Now, Astrid, I heard something about the fact that you love to do rock climbing. Is that true?
Yeah?
Well, isn't that kind of dangerous?
No.
No, you don't feel dangerous about that?
No.
And where do you practice rock climbing? Do you actually go inside at gyms or do you actually climb up on mountains?
Inside gyms.
I see.
I usually have a class in Metro Rock.
Right, yeah. I'm sure it's quite safe, really. And I understand that you're also interested in bouldering. Now, I don't know what bouldering is. What is bouldering?
Bouldering is a kind of rock climbing, and it's like there's 3 different kinds, I think. No, 4. Like one is lead climbing, one is top rope, one is auto belay, and one is bouldering. Bouldering is when it's like not very high and you climb. And then
Nice.
and then the others are like when you have a rope and you try to climb up.
Oh, I think that's called, is that called top roping?
Top rope, auto belay, or lead climbing. Lead climbing is like when you put the hook into the other thing, and then like and the top rope is when someone is belaying you, and then auto belay is when there's like a rope, only a rope, and no one's belaying you, and it's like stuck on your harness, and then it's so when you get up you can like it helps you go down.
Oh, I see. Well, you know, Astrid, if I'm ever in Lexington, I'm going to try to find you so I can watch you do some rope climbing and do some. That'd be fun. Rock climbing. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, I'll try to look you up if I can. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming by and taking the time to talk with us. And we're very much looking forward to your performance. And we wish you luck as a pianist and also as a rock climber.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Do you have measure numbers?
We don't.
Oh, okay, that doesn't help. Okay. Can you just play again the end of the phrase sol fa sol la si and then si la si sol, the end of the period. Otherwise, do ju- just do from the very beginning then. Okay, from the very beginning. Now, there is a rest there. Sol, fa, sol, la, si, rest. Si, la, si, sol. You had to wait a moment before you go on there. Otherwise, we don't go together. Okay. Rest. Go on. Can you play from the very beginning? Just the beginning, a little bit something there, but then the rest is quite fine.
Okay, so I just want.
It's so fun to watch. It's part of our package when you apply to the Laureate Gala auditions. You go through the whole audition process, which you saw there, where you play live online, and you get to speak with judges online live as part of a broadcast, which is just a phenomenal thing that we can offer, because I have never in my musical career been able to speak with the judges even in a live location after the competition, and we allow the judges to give feedback live and for the musicians to ask questions. So that's all part of that. And once chosen for concerto, you get a session online privately with the maestro, which you just saw, and then after that you get to go to New York, rehearse with the orchestra, and play in the gala. And we're going to show you just a little bit about that on the Progressive Musicians website. If we could have that up here. So if you go to progressivemusicians.com and you see the homepage here, and I'll just give you a very quick overview. Here's some information. And if you're not a text person, and I'm not either, scroll down just a little bit here and you see all the images for all the audition calls. And you'll see we have quite a few different opportunities for ensembles, concertos, and just regular recitals at Carnegie Hall this coming season. And the deadline for that, the first deadline, is October 1st. Now, if you scroll down more, you see we have opportunities to play concertos with different orchestras around the world, and we have the Sound Espressivo competitions, which are all online, which Anna just showed in the previous broadcast about an hour ago, which also phenomenal, just amazing prizes. And here's some of the clinicians that you get to work with if chosen for these opportunities here. So it just some amazing musicians here. So if we go back up to concerto arias, that's what Lutao had applied for and won. And this is how you can apply. Application deadline October 1st. Here's a little splash about the New York Chamber Players. And here's Rachel, one of our fabulous guitarists from last year, playing with them live on Carnegie stage. But we have all the dates here. So you can apply by October 1st to either play November 21st or April 4th. And just send us a video of your best performance. It doesn't have to be a concerto. It doesn't have to be something you recently did, but just a video that best represents your playing for the pre-screening. And our judges will review it, and if we're in favor of it, we will select you for a live audition, which then you would have to play the piece that you'd want to play on the stage here. But every performer gets selected, gets a medal, certificate, an archival video of themselves playing at Carnegie Hall, some complimentary tickets, an interview with Steve Robinson, which we also saw part of, and with Lutao, and then what else? Oh, there's so many things here. You get a rehearsal with the maestro online. You get 2 rehearsals in New York with the orchestra, and then woohoo! Look at that flailing arms from Teresa. She was on yesterday's Spotlight. So dates and deadlines: October 1st. Live auditions at the end of October. Gala in November. And all you have to do, it's one click away. You just apply, and there you go. And there's much more information. Now, if we go back, I'll just show you really quick. Come on, web browser, go back. Okay, and the first one here is just the regular recital auditions, and that is also an October 1st deadline, and it's pretty much the same protocol. Send your best video, and then when we come to the live auditions, you get to interact with the judges here, and just a few different dates. November 21st is also going to be a recital date, but then April 1st, not April 4th. April 1st will be a recital date as well. And you can see we got so many things there. Oh, here's Antia. She was one of the Adler Oaks audience favorite awards last year. And virtuoso violinist from India. And So yeah, we have all of the same benefits here. There's just so much greatness here. I could go on for days about all of this. It's just a lot. So anyway, let's cut out of this here, and we have a short video prepared that we could show you that goes over the entire season, and we'll take a look at that right now. Oh, that's so exciting, especially with that wonderful music. Oh, I want to dance in my chair here. And, just wonderful. So if you have any more inquiries, visit our website, progressivemusicians.com, soundespressivo.com. Email us, send us messages on LinkedIn, Facebook. We're on everything here. And we have some comments here. Oh, she has such unbelievable musicality. Yes, she does. Yes, it is interesting how the conductor works with her before the rehearsals begin. Yes, that's a big pro. Many experiences don't include that, and it's a big time saver, but it's also a great way to just check in and get to know each other. And there's always that awkward meeting when you meet in front of the orchestra for the first time, and that eliminates that as well. Yep, she got to play at Carnegie Hall, and she's just 7. I was just beginning to play piano at 7. I can't imagine playing at concerto with orchestra, and she was just fabulous. But that's just the greatness here. We really have no age limit as well. So you could be 80 and still play on this program. It's we do it all here. All right. So getting back to things here, we have more of Lutao, and now I've mentioned that we would have a little bit of Alexander Peskanov too. Well, just wait, because here it comes. Let's tune in.
The rest is quite fine.
Okay, so I just wanted to actually bring 2 points, if I may. There are 2 tempos in this movement. It starts andante cantabile, and the tempo is quarter equals 60. Then it goes to andantino,
Right.
and that goes faster. So that's where the tempo starts picking up, and actually the orchestra has 2 measures before the soloists come in, so you can start, moving a little ahead, and I think that would be perfect. Now, this concerto actually in its entirety was performed recently in Italy with the orchestra.
Where?
And so somewhere I have the recording of that, but in
You remember
any case,
where it was?
I'm sorry?
You remember where it was performed?
The performance was in northern Italy, and not far from Venice, a little north from Venice, close to Adriatic coast.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm pretty confident in the score, because I've heard all 3 movements, and everything seemed going okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the score is fine. This is just the second movement, I guess, right?
Yeah, of course. And so the only tempo changes are between andante cantabile, and of course andante cantabile is it's a little bit nostalgic,
Right.
more nostalgic, and andantina is a little bit more uplifting tempo.
Yeah. I have an observation.
Sure.
I didn't want to ask Lutao, but I thought the beginning could have been a slightly bit slower than how she did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's why I said nostalgic, because
Yeah.
because the mood is not like you're rushing somewhere,
No,
Yeah,
it's actually
just
sit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's very kind of laid back, and
Right.
and that's it.
Si, la, si.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly.
Dai. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very much like a song, you know, like Italian song. I mean,
Right.
I think Italian.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
Lutao, if you have heard the maestro here, is instead of pira rira like mechanical, more felt
Yes.
a bit slower.
Yes, it's very very singing like,
Right.
very singing like. It's like a serenade, and in general, when I grew up, I used to go to opera a lot as a child, and I grew up on Italian operas, like
Right.
Verdi and
Right.
and Puccini and
Puccini. Yeah.
Donizetti and all these great masters. So I absorbed a lot of music, and I was hoping that I can introduce this music into piano concertos, this type
Right.
of music.
it was so much fun being in the room listening to all that and just experiencing it. It's, I mean, just there's nothing better than live raw footage to just give you great memories there. But that's an exact look of how, well, a highlight look of how it will be. And a lot of people just wouldn't know this unless we tell you that Alexander Peskanov was in the room for that rehearsal. He was off to the side. But I mean, it's just so wonderful when you play music by living composers and they can share their insights on just the story, the interpretation, and give their criticisms, right there and then. I mean, what better resource and research to have that? And, he was such, a wonderful addition to our gala as well. And I believe we have some more comments, and I believe that we have one from Alexander Peskanov himself, if we can find that in there. But, great conversation between the composer and Peskanov, conductor Franci, and 7-year-old pianist Lutao Guo. That's the internet's an amazing thing here. Here he is. Hello, Anna. How can you share this video on social media, Facebook and Instagram? Well, we are live on all of our platforms for Facebook, Instagram, I believe Instagram, YouTube, and Anna's LinkedIn. All you have to do is click that share button and post it to any of your social medias, and it'll be everywhere. So like, share, subscribe, follow, all the above. Yeah, great collaboration with the composer, conductor, and performer. Yes, indeed. I love all the encompassing process to get to the concert. Yeah, it's a process. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, and it's wonderful. Yeah, kudos to her teacher and family. Yeah, she has a great teacher, Jashi, wonderful. Okay, I should also mention some of the soundtrack music that you have heard throughout this. It's just glorious. Is our virtual concert hall's composer in residence, Ala Lowry, and it's just wonderful music. But and shout out to her, kudos, bravo. Hope we can hear more of it and have more of it on our broadcasts. That brings me to a point, though. Composers can also apply to have their music on our galas, and that information is also on the Progressive Musicians and Sound Espressivo website. And you could even apply to have your piece premiered by the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. There's so many different opportunities here, as well as Cold Orchestra have works and performances around the world. And yes, learn more at soundespressivocompetition.com and progressivemusicians.com. So with that, we are getting near the end here. I'd like to just take a second to thank all the musicians and our audience and supporters. And we have a tremendous amount of supporters here that just have given us many amazing resources here. And we have the Sound Espressivo competition and Progressive Musicians. The New York Chamber Players has been very generous. History of Music. iClassical Academy. Oh my goodness. iClassical Academy has been extremely generous with awards and prizes. We have the Adler Oaks Music Library. Piano Rehearsal Studios, which is where these orchestra rehearsals took place. Group Muse, New Media Productions, Virtual Concert Halls. Oh, what am I missing here? World Piano Teachers Association. And they're all here. Kaboff School of Music. They keep moving. Okay, but they are here, and they have been wonderful to us, and thank you. We also have to give a big thank you to all the private teachers and all of the people that play on our galas have had amazing instruction from one or many more instructors and influences from everywhere around the world. And these teachers that prepare their students to play at this level don't just work from 9 to 5 and hang it up at the end of the day. There's a lot that goes into it, researching, phone calls, extra lessons, overtime lessons, usually without pay. And it's never really goes recognized, but we want to recognize that because it's a lot of hard work that's paying off for a lot of musical greatness. We also have a wonderful team here at Virtual Concert Halls that goes into making these productions as beautiful as they are. Anna Auspenskaya, who co-founder, host, and script writer. She was on the last broadcast, and she'll be on many more. And we have Frane, Igor, Fader, Ante, Chris, James. Who's that? That's Steve. And we have a whole bunch of people behind the scenes here. And it takes a village to make this work. We have people behind the scenes clicking these cards and moving this, all from remote locations. None of us are in the same city. And it just hones right into this broadcast. And they all just do a wonderful job. Thank you for all of your work, Virtual Concert Hall's team. Okay, with that, we need to sign off. I'm James Welch. I'm your host today and owner of Progressive Musicians, and we look forward to seeing you tune into future broadcasts. We are live every day at noon. Have a great day.